Hello everybody, and welcome back to the Farming Simulator 25 map guide. Today we're going to be taking a look at Courtright Lane. But before that, this video is brought to you by GoldenEye 48 and Raznak. Thank you for being farm barons. So the Courtright Lane map can be found at the farmingsimulator.com website or the in-game downloadable content menu. And as of the 1.0 release, this map is available for PC and Mac players only. Now, the reason for that is that this is a 4X map, and we've yet to see a 4X map be released and stay released on console. Now, this is a rather unique map, and the file download size might give you a little bit of a hint because it's just 122 megabytes in size, a rather small size for a map that's 4 times the size of a standard map. Now, the user ratings here, as of the recording of this video, aren't really the greatest. And I think that's because maybe folks are a little confused by this map's setup, because this isn't a contemporary farm sim map, because we don't have any pre-placed farms. We have pre-placed fields, we have predefined roads, we have existing sell points and productions, but we're missing the farms. They're not pre-existing. It's designed for you to build out your own farm. So it's kind of a hybrid between a wilderness map, where you have nothing but wilderness, and a contemporary map where you have fields, farmland, trees, roads, sell points, and farms. So that said, let's go ahead and read the description. Courtright Lane, a Canadian-inspired farming map. This is a 4X map for Farming Simulator 25, inspired by the vast open farmland of southern Ontario, Canada. Built for those who demand space and efficiency, Courtright Lane features massive flat fields designed for the biggest machinery and long hours of uninterrupted work. A carefully designed industrial park with fully functional train silo adds logistical depth, offering streamlined storage and transport options. Every element of the landscape has been crafted to reflect the scale and character of Canadian farming, delivering a true large-scale agricultural experience. This map includes 68 expansive fields, perfect again for large-scale farming. Start from scratch. Again, no pre-built farms or starting machinery in any mode. Should you choose to start by owning the farm or not, you're going to have the same experience. Multiple farm-ready plots are available, and they are carefully paired with certain fields. Fully functional train system with additional drain cars for efficient transport of grain to the train sell point. Small animal dealer, 2 conveniently located fuel stations. We have a sawmill, as well as a few other productions pre-placed on the map. There are a few sell points. I counted up 7, which, quite frankly, based on some recent maps we've looked at, is a pretty good number, even with this being a 4X map. There's also a farmer's market for more diverse selling opportunities and much more to discover. I agree with map author that I do feel that this map is perfect for multiplayer. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the PDA itself. And you're going to find that this is a map that is predominantly with square or rectangular fields, so it should be fairly easy on your standard hired help. In addition, as a 4X map, all of these fields are going to be much larger than they would maybe initially appear. For example, field 30, well, we're looking at 247 acres in size. Quite possibly the smallest field on the map, field 68, is going to be 7.25 acres in size. Now, when we start out here, we're going to be down here at the vehicle dealer, which is about centered on the map east to west, but is the extreme southern side of the map. With respect to our crops, we do have all the standard crops available to us in FS25 available on this map. And if you are playing with precision farming, we do have a custom soil map. And it's a rather interesting soil map indeed. Toward the top of the map, we have loam. Then we have a large swath of silty clay, a swath of sandy loam, and then kind of just south of the center of the map, running west to east, we do have a big swath of loamy sand, and then more loam, and then more sandy loam after that. With respect to your buildable farm areas, well, there are a ton of them on this map, And I'm going to try to run through where the vast majority of these are. So if we start here at the shop, if we go just east a little bit, we have Farmland ID 56. And at Farmland ID 56, well, it's going to be 70 acres in size as far as the farmland and $1.1 million to buy. Then we have Farmland ID 55 just behind the vehicle dealer, 54 acres in size, $876,000 to buy. We have Farmland ID 63 right across the street from that, 28.49 acres in size, $461,000. Just to the west a little bit, we have Farmland ID 62, 20 acres in size, $325,000 to buy. We also have Farmland ID 24. That's going to be 110 acres in size, $1.78 million to buy. Farmland ID 20, 74.79 acres, right here along the western edge of the map, $1.2 million to buy. Farmland ID 7, which is going to be 81 acres in size across the northern part of the map, $1.3 million to buy. Farmland ID 14, 167 acres in size, and $2.7 million to buy. Farmland ID 34 is going to be 89 acres in size, and that's going to be $1.4 million to buy. Farmland ID 38, which is going to be 91.27 acres in size, and $1.4 million to buy. Farmland ID 41, 46.91 acres in size, and $759,000 to buy. We then have Farmland ID 65 down here to the south, kind of diagonal from the shop. 7.66 acres in size, probably the smallest starting farm area, $123,955 to buy. We have Farmland ID 66, just to the east of that, 25 acres to buy, $404,000 to buy. Farmland ID 67, which is going to be 19, almost 20 acres in size, $322,000 to buy. Then we have Farmland ID 57. That's going to be 175 acres in size and $2.8 million to buy. And then there is this plot right south of the southern gas station. That's going to be 15.6 acres in size. Farmland ID 71 at $252,000 to buy. And we will do a bit of a flyover and kind of take a look at all of these areas. But you can see we've got quite a diverse set of possible farmlands, some fairly small and some fairly large, given that the sizes here, some include fields, some do not. So I think this would be really great for a group of folks who want to get in multiplayer and build out your own individual farm and make it your own, and then at the same time have decent sized fields where you can come together during harvest or other times and really have that community or communal multiplayer experience. Now, with respect to our crop counter, we do have the standard FS25 crop counter available on this map. Maybe a little bit of a missed opportunity to maybe have done something a little bit more unique that would probably or possibly allow double crop farming, because I'm pretty sure that's a thing in Canada. Since we don't have any pre-placed farms, we don't have any animal pens pre-placed either. We do have contracts available on this map, and we do have 3 productions pre-placed. That is a carpentry, an oil mill, and a sawmill. And then with respect to our prices screen, as I mentioned, I counted up 7 different prices, or 7 different sell points, I should say, not including the 3 productions. So if we factor those in, then we're looking around 10 different sell points. We don't start with any vehicles in any mode. We don't start with any hand tools in any mode. And this map does not have any collectibles. Now, typically at this point in time, we would jump and take a look at our garage menu. But as I mentioned, it's empty because we don't have anything. So let's just go ahead and check our mods and DLCs. This map does not include any custom vehicles or implements. And let's go ahead and check our build mode. We don't have any required mods. We also don't have any extra buildings that are included with the map because, well, the extremely small download size. We're going to be basically limited to base game items. And to that extent, let's check our ground textures. Fairly standard ground textures, standard trees, and standard shrubbery. Now, while we're down here at the shop, let's go ahead and pick something up and just see where things spawn. So they spawn kind of far away from the shop, but we've got a huge spawn area here for our vehicles to spawn and a pretty decent sized area for ourselves to get out of the shop also. So we really shouldn't have too much of a hassle in buying big machinery, wide machinery, and getting out of the shop with it. As far as our service trigger, well, that's going to be on the other side of this building. So here we have our dealer trigger, where we can do all sorts of things. Now, maybe a little bit of missed opportunity because we've got this area here behind the gas station. And at first I thought, oh, cool, sweet. Like, we could put production here. We could expand what we have. Well, the thing is, it's on land that we... Here we go. It's on land we can't buy. So, right there, this is land we can't purchase. So I feel like this should have been a defined area where we could buy it, and then we could have put more production in or whatever. So just beside the vehicle dealer, we have our oil mill. It's one of the 3 productions on the map, and our triggers for that are going to be around the back. We also have one of our 2 gas stations located down here, and we're making our way kind of north along this central road. This is not a biogas plant. This is a grain sell point. In fact, there is no biogas plant pre-placed on this map at all. Here we're going to have a rent train trigger. And then our industrial yard is going to be over here, just north of field 52, south of field 32. This is where we're going to have our train transfer station to transfer a crop to and from the train silo to the train or out. We also have sell points here. We have a dairy sell point. Rent train trigger there. We have a warehouse buy point where we can sell crops, and we can also then purchase goods at our warehouse trigger there. Here we have our carpentry production. We do have a lime purchase point there. And then if we make our way south, here to field 61, this is where we're going to find our farmer's market sell point for palletized goods, grains, and then we have our animal dealer. We have so we can purchase slurry, we can purchase manure, and we can purchase our animals. Now, if we make our way across the southern part of the map, I didn't identify this as a possible building site. And that's because, well, we don't have any real indication like we have at some of these other areas that this is intended to be one, but this could be one as well. Farmland ID 59. Coming across the southern part of the map once again. First thing we're going to come to is Farmland ID 62. And you can see, like I said, the kind of suggested building sites are going to have these roads that are kind of hidden amongst some grass. So we have Farmland ID 62. Farmland ID 64. Farmland ID 55. Here we have our vehicle shop. Farmland ID 65. 66. 67. 57, which includes this large field. 71, which is lightly forested here. And that's behind the second gas station on the map. Make your way north. We've got the train that crosses west-east here. You see some of the rolling natures of these fields. Now, Farmland ID 35, which is mostly forested, but it does have maybe a little bit of an area where you could clear out and make a farm if you really needed to. Farmland ID 34. You can put something here small. Maybe you could put a sell point there, production. You were going to build out more productions. Farmland ID 38 is going to be here. And then right beside it, 41. 14. Now making our way across the north part of the map. You look across all the way to the extreme southern portion there. Here we have Farmland ID 7. We have our sawmill located up here just south of Farmland ID 3. Farmland ID 20. Farmland ID 24. Here's one of those purposeful forested areas. Farmland ID 51. A little bit of forested area here at Farmland ID 50. And now we're back to Farmland ID 59, where we started this little journey around the map. Now, as far as performance goes, on my low-end test system, I had really good performance, as one might expect on this map, but I did have a little bit of stuttering when I was here in the industrial park. But I feel like after your shaders would have loaded and things, that would have settled down pretty good. So I'm going to say that we had performance in the 40s to 50s as far as FPS goes, and with frame gen turned on, that really did provide a very smooth gameplay experience on a low-end system with AMD integrated graphics. So I think that even this being a 4X map, I think it would play perfectly fine on a Windows-based handheld, maybe the Steam Deck, or any system that has a low-end graphics card. Now, I'd like to know your all's thoughts down in the comments below. with respect to Courtright Lane. I think this is a really interesting map that maybe is a little misunderstood because I think it makes a great 4X map with the field layout, with its focus on agriculture, but it may miss with some players that are like, well, where's the farms? Well, the farms are there for you to build. We've got lots of placeables in game. We have lots of placeable mods, and I think it's great if you just throw money in the save game and just go to town building out farms. You can build out several different farms, and then you can have a bunch of people come in multiplayer and just kind of hang out and have fun. That's how I really see this map being enjoyed, is several farms in multiplayer. Everyone gets maybe $5 million. Buy your land, build out your farm, buy your machinery, and have fun. Let me know again what your thoughts are down below. And until next time, happy farming.